The USS Carl Vinson sailed smoothly through the calm waters of the Pacific. Her huge mass parted the sea 320 miles off the coast of South America, leaving a wake of incandescent colors and sea life that rolled and churned after her four massive bronze propellers. The Nimitz-class supercarrier was on her way home after a cruise of 6 months in the south-central Pacific. Her home port was Bremerton, Washington, and that was where most of the crew's families would be waiting anxiously for their men and women to return from their long voyage. Her huge engines pushed her through the Pacific at 26 knots. Flight operations on the Vinson were in preparation for the fighter and bomber air wings to lift off the following afternoon for their home bases of Miramar and Oakland. The only planes flying this morning were the carrier's Combat Air Patrol, better known as CAP, and they now cruised at 20,000 feet and were 100 clicks out. The morning had been calm and without incident for the two old but formidable Grumman F-14 Super Tomcats when the first radio call was transmitted from the Vinson. Call name Ponderosa. Range Rider Flight, this is Ponderosa. Do you copy? Over. Lieutenant Commander Scott Derringer Derry had his visor down as he looked into the rising yellow disk of the morning sun, reminding him of the Persian Gulf and his many combat missions over Iraq. As he thumbed the transmit button on his joystick, he looked to his left and slightly behind, eyeing his wingman, satisfied he was still in position and no doubt hearing the Carl Vinson the same as himself. Ponderosa, this is Range Rider Lead. Copy 5x5, over. Range Rider 1, we have an intermittent contact south at 800 miles and closing. Advise this information comes from Bootlegger and not Ponderosa. We have no contact at this time, over. Under the mask, Derry pursed his lips. Bootlegger was the call sign for the guided missile cruiser riding shotgun for the Carl Vinson. The USS Shiloh, with her Aegis tracking and fire control system, could supply better air intelligence than the huge carrier, so her information was always acted upon. Derry once again took a quick glance over his shoulder at his wingman. His partner gave a small wag of the huge fighter's wings, indicating he had the gist of the call. Range Rider copies, Ponderosa. Inform lead if any target aspect changes, over. Roger, Flight Lead. Ponderosa will advise. Stay alert to TAC 3. Bootlegger will monitor. Over. The Vinson answered. Derry clicked his transmit button twice in acknowledgement. Do you have anything yet, Pete? He asked his radar intercept officer, or RIO, Pete Clipp. Negative, boss. I don't have a thing on scope at this time. Derry raised the dark visor on his helmet and once again looked down and back at his wingman, Lieutenant J.G. Jason Ryan, call sign Vampire, who was flying smoothly as ever as he brought his F-14 level with his commander. Does your RIO have anything, Vampire? Negative, Lead. We're clear, Ryan answered. Understood. Let's go see what we can see, Derry said. The two Navy fighters made a slow turn to the south and climbed. The Combat Direction Center on the Carl Vinson was darkened to the point where the outlines of the operators were cast in a multicolored, luminous veil caused by the screens they monitored. On one of these screens was an air search radar patch-through from the USS Shiloh. Still nothing? Lieutenant Commander Isaac Harris asked. The radar specialist adjusted the bandwidth on the monitor and looked over his shoulder at his commanding officer. A confused look crossed his features. It comes and goes, sir. First solid, then nothing. Then on its next sweep, it's there, big as a barn, and then vanishes. Diagnostics? Harris asked. Clean, Commander. And Shiloh also reports their equipment is working fine. Everything's up and to spec. Harris rubbed his chin and straightened. This is damn strange. He leaned forward and asked, Heading change. Negative. Course still holding on a line to Vinson. The